Hello, and welcome to another episode of Connecting the Dollars. Today, we are going to focus on the wildfires in California that are currently still burning. It's a tragic event and very difficult for so many people. And even if you're not directly affected, we're going to discuss some of the indirect effects of this unfortunate event and also how to mitigate risk for yourself and the potential impacts on personal finance. So, my name is Emily Agosto. I am a CPA and financial advisor at Propel.
And I'm Amanda Vaught, financial advisor and attorney.
All right. So, off the top, we want to say that if you are inclined to donate or, give any help to the victims of the wildfire in California that are currently still going on as the recording of this podcast, we just want to say to please make sure you are donating to a place that is vetted, some place that is, an actual organization or
Yeah,
not a scam.
yeah.
There's
I think that's
unfortunately a lot of those going on.
yeah, yeah. Isn't that the worst part? It's so
Yeah,
tragic. And then, shucksters show up to defraud people on top of it. So just quick warning before we get into it, right?
yeah. But also, off the top, I do want to say I'm in Chicago. Amanda's in New York, so we are not, currently in the thick of it. So everything we're going to talk about is kind of a little bit from outside. We don't want to diminish, any tragedies that people have are currently suffering and whatnot. But we do want to get some information out to people because it seems like natural disasters are becoming more of a regular thing.
Yeah, for sure. It seems it's more and more, right?
Yeah.
We did recently do an episode talking about the impact of hurricanes in Florida, and there's fires in California. I mean, there's wildfires in New York too that
Yeah.
come through in the fall. So I mean, it's out there and it seems to be more and more. But in Illinois, I know you guys have some bad tornadoes that did significant damage. I think the one in California that makes it especially tragic is that it's happening in a major population center. It's not in the hills or in a rural area. So this one is just extra big because it's impacting so many more people and so many more homes. Um,
Exactly. And it's
yeah,
a more affluent area, so it's kind of like a different situation than what we've seen. And because it's a different, like
demographic.
a different demographic, yes, thank you. The insurance claims are going to be much higher, and it's just a little bit different of a game here.
Yeah, yeah. The Wall Street Journal said last year, meaning 2024, the damage to it, the amount insurance companies were liable for was $89 billion for the first 9 months of the year. And the California fires are still going, so we don't know the final numbers, but some initial estimates were around 200 billion. So it's already more than double
Right.
what the insurance was responsible for in 2024. So these, and it's not even done.
Right.
So that number, right, is going to impact everybody, not just the people in California. I th the insurance rates in California, the property insurance rates have already been going up significantly.
Mhm.
I think California and Florida are the big ones. But when insurance companies have to cover such a large bill, they take that and that is going to get spread out nationwide.
Right. Yeah, so
So,
as we mentioned at the top, the indirect impacts. Yeah, insurance rates have been going up everywhere in the last 10, well, the last 10 years I've been a homeowner, they've definitely increased. We haven't had to file any claims, thankfully, knock on wood. We do live on a floodplain, but the vast majority of our neighborhood has not really been affected by much lately, thankfully. But it's still going up because of all these other things going on in the rest of the country.
mhm.
So yeah, it's got to come from somewhere. And unfortunately, when you do see rates going up on insurance, it's very difficult for them to ever come down because
Right.
we don't know when these
Right.
disasters are going to happen.
Right, exactly. And then Emily, speaking as a homeowner, I'll speak as a renter, so I don't pay property insurance directly, but I pay it. I do carry renter's policy.
Mhm.
Um, but it's my landlord who is going to have the increased cost, which then gets passed on to the renter. So even if you might not see it directly, you're going to feel it at some point.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. And there have been times where we've been able to call when you get the notice, like your insurance is going up, and sometimes you can call and like ask for discounts. Or actually, this year or 2024, we replaced our roof. Nothing happened. It wasn't an insurance claim, it was just very old. So we told the insurance company, and they took a little bit off of our annual fee. But
Yeah.
there's not really a lot of things you can do. I think, Amanda, you said you bundled some insurance together.
Yeah, if you bundle home and auto, that can help with the rates. But auto insurance rates have been going up as well. So, if you want to help your auto insurance, you might be able to get a different type of car. You could take like a safe driving course that can help with your auto rates. But for the home, it's not as straightforward, right? Because you can't just switch out your home and buy a new home like you could a car, right? I think, the quality of your roof does impact the rates. So you could run the numbers to see if that's worth that investment to update your roof.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, the other thing you can do, some people, um, we see this a lot more with retirees who are on a fixed income when the insurance rates are going up and it becomes difficult to pay the insurance bill. They're switching to self-insurance, meaning they're just going to eat the cost if something happens,
Mhm.
um, which can be a very dangerous road to go down. Um, but you can also do self-insuring just a portion of your home if your budget is constrained. So you can think about getting fire protection, but maybe opting out of some other types of protection. But just keeping some kind of insurance on your home is probably going to be better than opting out completely.
Right. Yeah, and all of these things vary state by state, so we don't know all of the rules in every state, but there should be some kind of option like that. So don't be afraid to ask, or at least try to get some insurance, even if it seems like all the quotes you're getting are way too high or out
Yeah,
of your
yeah.
budget.
Yeah, I should add too, this is people who have already paid off their mortgage, right? So if you have a mortgage on your home, they're going to require your home to be insured.
Right.
If you have already paid off your mortgage, which is why we see it with retirees, the home insurance becomes optional, right? If you don't have a mortgage anymore. So people opting out can be dangerous. Especially if those people are your neighbors.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
You're keeping your home insured and something happens and you can rebuild, but all your neighbors are not insured. It's like what there goes the neighborhood, right?
Yeah,
Um, so those types of things can impact not just yourself, but the community at large. Um,
absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Um,
yeah, another thing we wanted to touch on, so like looking at this as maybe an experience to learn. A lot of people, their home is their biggest asset, and they haven't grown their liquid savings, or that's not necessarily the focus before putting a lot of money into a home. And
mhm.
so think about if you sunk all of your savings into buying a home and then it's destroyed. Like that's a bad situation to be in. Obviously, for many reasons, even if you do have a lot of savings, that's a terrible situation to be in. But it's another way to show like you need to have your ducks in a row. We talked about episode 48, Amanda already mentioned, where we do talk a little bit about insurance in Florida and the hurricane, but also the importance of all the other things you should have ready before you go into the home buying process. Do you want to go a little more into that?
Yeah, yeah. We see people, who are saving up to buy their first home, and you look on Zillow or other real estate websites like that, and they'll give you an estimate of your monthly charges from buying the home. And that will include the mortgage payment, interest payment, maybe the property tax, but it doesn't include the home insurance number. So that's an important number to look up in advance so you budget for that properly. But with NerdWallet or Bankrate, or there's different websites that can give you an estimate.
Hmm.
It won't be the exact number of a home because you can just get an average for your zip code.
Yeah.
Um, but the home itself and the size of the home, the age of the home will all impact what that number would be. And then also budget for that number going up.
Hmm.
Um, it's been going up way more than inflation.
Yeah,
So
things will go up
it's
every
not it's not a static number, right? It's going to change and it's probably going to go up and it's probably going to go up significantly.
year. Hmm.
Um, we discussed how before recording about climate change and climate change deniers. And if you are a climate change denier, okay, but the insurance companies are not climate change deniers. They are believe in this stuff and they are figuring it into their premiums. So as these disasters continue to come, expect the rates to continue to go up. The other thing to mention is that the new administration coming in 2025, climate change, I'd say at the bottom of their priority list. And so it's becoming more and more important to look out for this yourself,
Right.
and don't expect the government to come in and try to help with this anytime soon.
Right. It's unfortunate, but it has become the trend. And statistically, I mean, I was thinking, like, I was in college when Katrina happened, and it seemed like, oh, wow, this is obviously a terrible tragedy, but it seemed like a once in a lifetime thing. But here we are 20 years later, and there's been multiple, multiple tragedies because of natural disasters in my lifetime. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's unfortunate, right?
it's hard to deny that. Um,
Yeah, and then the other point I just wanted to make before we wrap up too is that even if we're talking about having proper insurance in place, even if that is in place and you do have full coverage, that is great. But also remember that filing those claims and getting paid out for them does take some time.
yes.
And if your home is destroyed and you still have a mortgage on it, you still have to make that mortgage payment.
Right.
Um, and getting that insurance company payout. I mean, I was saying, if you tried to call the insurance company, how many people are calling in right now trying to file the claim?
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
it's significant. So it's going to take them time to process these claims and pay out. So it just goes to the importance of having that liquid reserve, emergency savings account, other investment accounts that you can draw from
Mhm.
if you need to
Yeah.
while you're waiting for the insurance money to come through.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely not overnight. It's a awful process, but
Yeah.
the best there is. If you are lucky enough to have insurance in the first place.
Yeah, right. I know. For a lot of people I know it's like the last thing they're thinking about, but um but hopefully other people can use this as um a learning experience. I mean, that's what the best we can do coming out of tragedies is try to help prevent it happening for other people. So
Right. Well,
hopefully we added some helpful information to the
yes. To all the information out there already.
yeah.
Oh gosh. Um, well, we do hope that everyone is staying safe no matter where you are, and that this fire gets contained quickly.
Yeah.
So, on that note, we will wrap it up here. And thank you for listening. If you have anything to add or any questions, you can find us at connectingthedollars.com. Info at connectingthedollars.com is our email. We're also on YouTube and Instagram, Propel Financial Advisors. And please like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Please follow us if you're listening on a podcast app. And yeah, we hope to continue to bring you some more helpful personal finance tips and information for the rest of 2025. Happy 2025, by the way.
Yeah.
Here we
It's
are.
great.
All right. Well, thanks,
Okay.
Amanda. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, great.
Bye.
Bye.